Let's put our screwdrivers away. Let's go over into here. Where is the... Gotta shake it. Ooh, there's 2 people watching. Hello, 2 people watching. Who are you? Where are you watching from? Say hello. This helps drive engagement. I am mixing up some fluorescent green pore filler. Just gonna make some happy little filler. Okay, we've got some water-based filler, and it's supposed to be clear. There we go. No one's wanting to say hi. That's all right. I guess you're only hurting me and my engagement. That's fine. You can hurt me. Wouldn't be the first time. Certainly won't be the last. So this is Gork's Good Fill, a water-based clear grain filler. Bouche pore, à base d'eau, à base d'eau. It means water-based. Andrew, hello to Australia. Hairball 1, what's up with you? So this is clear grain filler. So it's non-shrinking, which I guess in French translates to ne rétrécis pas. I'm sorry, I'll stop. I can read the stuff and I can hear how it's supposed to sound, but making the sound, that's the other hard part. Ooh, the neighbors are here. They've got the music started. So it's supposed to be clear, but it's white. And as I mix this with the neon green, it's giving pastel. Kenzie, thank you. Tired of playing the game. Ain't it a friggin' shame? I'm so tired. Yes, that is true. We'll talk about that. But for right now, I'm mixing this stuff up to our desired shade. So what I'm doing here is, so we've got this is a 624 baritone that I'm making for our great pal Sean, who is nice enough to order guitars. And so we need a little bit more. I think I started out with too much filler to begin with. Actually, I know I did. But I know this dries clear, but it has a white base, which, you know, it says clear grain filler on it. Why does it come out white? Probably so you can see what you're doing. I don't know. There we go. This is a good... Is it though? Yeah. It's funny because, like, this is definitely fluorescent green. Oh, we got some people. Kenzie, you are too kind. Dave, good morning to you. Where are you from? You know, I haven't used Zpoxy since that one video I did. Shit, that's got to be like 15 years ago, 14 years ago, a long time ago, when I was still working with Spanish cedar. And so I haven't used it since then, because also, like, around that time, this is definitely, let's add just a little bit more. Around that time, 2013, 2014, I was at the point where I was at a crossroads. I find myself at a similar one. Or, well, I'm sorry, I'll speak English. I was at this point where to continue painting, so where I live in Texas, very hot, and oh, I don't like that. Okay, so we don't like that. So we're just going to use this. It's very hot, and this isn't, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. See, this has sealer on it, so I shouldn't have color. Maybe that was on the brush. Shouldn't have been. Sorry. So I was at this point where painting was real difficult because I wasn't in a climate-controlled area. And yeah, this is, all right. Well, so what we've learned so far is that I gotta get all this off. This is pulling color, which it shouldn't, because there's a lot of sealer under this. Excuse me 1 second. I need to get another paper towel. Hold that thought. Sorry, so let me focus on your question about using Zpoxy. So no, I don't use it anymore because I stopped finishing painting stuff in my garage. So I didn't really have the need for fillers. Now that I'm older, some might say I need a lot. Oh, okay. The nice thing is that this is all water-based, and this all comes right off, and that's good. Okay, so let's also see. I am perplexed because I've got a couple of real heavy, I mean not real heavy, but like sealer coats. So we stained it, and then I've sprayed sealer coat over it. And as I was wiping this stuff on, it's taking the black right off, which shouldn't happen because there's a sealer coat. I'll say sealer coat one more time. Say it with me. Sealer coat. All right, so we're going to set this to the side, and we'll get to this later. So no, I stopped using Zpoxy when I kind of stopped doing spraying stuff in-house. I still do some of it, not much, mostly like spraying headstocks, like clear coating headstocks on like 622s, stuff like that. I'll just do that here. That's easy enough. Where I'll just spray the headstock face, logo it, and then clear over that. But the more involved stuff, I don't do anymore for two reasons. One, climate. It's just too hot. And there's only so many additives you can add to your clear coat to keep it from curing and stuff like that, or from, to kind of get it to flow out, get all even before it starts to skin over and stuff like that. So, and the other thing is when I would have to paint, I would have to change everything over. So that's, in the garage, everything gets vacuumed out. The tarps would go up. It would look like, one of Dexter's kill rooms. And even when I had the booth, which worked pretty well, and the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. So no, I don't use it anymore. However, I do have a few projects. There's a NAMM guitar that I am doing all of the finish here because it's because I I'm going to do that, and I will need to do some pore filling. So I thought about getting some Zpoxy again and giving that a whirl, and you know, I might. It did look delicious, didn't it? But see, you can see here. Let me just get rid of the utensils. You know, slimy green, but like I noticed there was like black streaks in here. So I'm really perplexed as to why that happened, but it's fine. I mean, it's all off, so we're good. But yeah. Hey, Shep. Good morning. Oh, okay, must have been when I was singing some Lily. Hey, Catfish. Was it that long ago? Yeah, yeah. Like I stopped doing the Sully's Guitar Garage videos in 2014. The last one I did was called "How I Logo Headstocks," and that wasn't there wasn't any talking. I just had a GoPro stuck to my chest, and I sprayed and logoed 5 headstocks, and that was a good method. But yeah, that was the last one. And I've wanted to do kind of like a Justin Hawkins Rides Again kind of style thing, where maybe I watch some of the old Guitar Garage videos and kind of comment on them, just like, do I still do this? Was this, you know, do I not? Do I do things different? But that and like the magazine are things that I would really like to do, but I just can't get to. But yeah, it's been a long time. Joey is checking in with an A. So that means we're going to show Joey's guitar. Let's do that. So let me blow this off real quick. No, I'm not going to do that because that's actually, I'm not going to, because it's going to kick on the dust. So Swamp Ash Raven body. We've got the back. We've got a roasted maple neck, an arrow headstock. We've got a flame roasted maple fretboard. We've got white inlays and white binding. And this is going to go off to paint Tuesday. So this is going to be seafoam green with pink filler for contrast, and it's going to be dope. So we got that going. And that's Joey's Raven. Let's see. It's two. It's two. It is. Bitte, baby. 15 Schnitzengruben is my limit. Ross, good morning to you. How are you doing? Some stuff, not really. Just like a few things. So like this one where it's you know, black pour fill and then clear. Yeah, I'll handle that. But yeah. Sealer coat for the win. Well, for right now, I'm wondering if it's for the loss. Because yeah. Hey, Rodrigo. Well, that's a relief. Please do that. Oh, the video? Yeah, it would be cool. And I know that I downloaded a few of the videos because they would be good to use as fodder for that. But I just really haven't been able to get to it. I would love to. Nice. Or is that nicey? I like nicey. It's like an icy, which is refreshing on a hot day. Can't wait to see that. Crap. What? This one? Or I appreciate the enthusiasm. Let's see. Jeremy says sweet, and I say sweet to that. Our pal Assad. Howdy. Joey loves it, and I love that. Pickup selector in the middle of that, Raven? No, that is an arcade-style kill button. Hope all's well in your neck of the hood. All is not well, but I appreciate the well wishes. I'm tired. I'm real tired. Pink and green. Oh yeah. So the idea, Joey has this really fun 622 FR that is shell pink and has seafoam green on top of it, and then that's worn away, so you can see the shell pink underneath. So with this Raven, Joey wanted to take some elements of that guitar and bring it over into this. Ding 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 ding. We have a winner. So yeah, that's that. I'm a little perplexed. So what that tells me, that's interesting, is not a big fan of this vinyl sealer that I sprayed. But the good news is I can use we can move forward. It's going to be fine. So I will. But unfortunately not today, which is kind of a bummer because that's one of the reasons I came in today. Came in today also because we've got a shop move coming next weekend. And I'm going to be a little closer to home. Well, actually a lot closer to home. It's like 8 minutes from my house. And that's cool. But that wasn't really the reason for moving. My lease was up here at the end of April, and the amount that my rent was going to jump was completely unsustainable. Although with all of this going on right now, and what I mean by that is just running the business in the manner that I am, I wonder how sustainable that is. And when I say that, I'm not trying to raise alarm flags. All of the orders that we have, like, we're good. That's fine. But yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot. Moving out of the garage was necessary because I just didn't have room to work safely. And, safety is important, somewhat at least, but, so we had to move out, and, that created a lot of overhead, which frankly is killing me. But there's two pieces of advice, or just statements. Not so much they're not advice. Two statements that have stuck with me over the years that I first heard them, and it's been at least a decade. One is, doing this, especially at my level, which is tiny. I know that for what I do, I've got a decent sized following, and that's I'm very grateful for that. As we know, likes don't mean dollars, but some likes mean some dollars, and that's good. But somebody once told me that doing this is, especially when you've got to rely so much on social media to find your following, it is I want to quote this properly. Doing this is a daily bare knuckle fight to gain any kind of traction, and that's 1,000% true. And the second, this is the statement that I remember someone saying really stuck with me, is, I can't die, I have too many guitars to build, which is, it's also accurate. I don't have as many to build now as I once did, because, we're getting through the queue. I'm noticing that the queue is not filling up like it used to, for various reasons. And it's, the industry itself has been in a very difficult spot for a few years now. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. But yeah, I like the title says, I'm tired. It's a bare knuckle fight. I'm tired of fighting. I'm mentally exhausted. I'm physically exhausted. I am financially exhausted. I'm emotionally exhausted. I know that everybody, well, not everybody, but people enjoy caffeinated Sully, and that's I understand why. That's fun. Everybody's someone once said, I'm the internet. The internet wishes I was their stepdad or something like that. And it's nice because then whenever I can always play at stepdad speed, so that's cool. But yeah, all of this is exhausting, and we've got this move that we're preparing for. And the nice thing is, I don't have to be out of here by the end of this month. I'm extended out, so I'll be paying for 2 places, which is great. But as people say, it is what it is. But I don't know what it is. There's the rub. That's what they don't tell you. So we've got this move coming up, and my goal is to, we've got all this stuff that's just about ready to go to paint. It needs little teeny tiny things like, like blending a round over edge and just little things like that. Because like once you send the stuff off, once this is in paint, that's it. So I spend a lot of time, maybe more than I should, but I don't think so. I spend a lot of time making sure that things are where they need to be, because once it goes to paint, it's not, because we're not doing it in-house, which honestly, I would love to be able to do that stuff in-house because I enjoyed painting. I did. But, we're not doing it in-house. So once something is sent, it's going. And you can't hide problems with paint. It just, paint doesn't fix your problems. It just changes its color. So, yeah. So I wanted to get as many things done. And, Adam Adam mostly yesterday, as I was doing woodwork stuff, he's started tearing things down and like blowing stuff out with the air compressor. And it was just this huge dusty mess. So I'm here today. I wanted to get this contrasting grain fill done, but this isn't, it's not going to work as it is right now. And that's fine. We haven't lost any ground. I don't have to go back a step, which is great. And, that's cool. But there's other stuff that I'm going to do, just woodworky stuff. And, we've got some things that are available. If someone wants to grab something, I put, on our in-stock page on the website, I put some of my own personal guitars, like things that like I don't want to sell, but I absolutely will if someone buys it. Like a lot of like first of its kind of stuff. Like the first Concord is on there. I have the first Stardust Deluxe here. I'm looking at it right now. It's in there. It's the one that's got like an ebony top and head plate and truss rod cover and all that stuff. And I need to get some more photos of that, and that'll get listed. And like there's like the first from the Conspiracy series, from the first run, serial number 1, just kind of stuff like that. But I've also got some things here that are available, and like I listed one. There's a neck through Comet that doesn't, that has a traditional fretboard that's not going to get painted over. Someone wants to reserve that, they can. I need to raise as much to get through the move as I possibly can. One thing that I am really excited about is the Conspiracy Series custom line. So that works just like if someone wants to order a custom guitar from me. But at a Conspiracy Series price. I mean, it's made in Korea, but the factory that makes our Conspiracy Series guitars, they want to do customs. So we're going to do that. And it's every single one of our models, a ton of options, and some stuff that like we don't really do much here. Like, you know, there's like multi-laminate neck options, like, and that's always an option for us, but like people don't really ask. But, you know, if you want like a 5-piece flame maple Wenge laminate neck, you know, you can get it in the Conspiracy Series, and it'll be made like to order to your spec, and you don't have to wait for a run or anything like that. So I'm happy about that, and I really hope that people take advantage of that, because like there are other companies that do this sort of thing. There aren't many, but it's something that I think is really cool, and I think people. It's a nice option that if you want to have something made that's a little bit different from, you know, what we may have available in a run, you can have that like a one-off made to spec. Like, and this is great for like lefties, because I've wanted to get left-handed options in the Conspiracy Series, but just like the demand hasn't really been there at one time, and so we haven't been able to do it. But yeah. Oh, we've got some stuff here. Yeah, except I'm not drunk. Yeah. So yeah, that is a big difference. Yeah, I'm not drunk, so that's good. I remember the one review that I remember about from that podcast was, it's just the title was "Too Drunk," and I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Let's see. You enjoy painting it until you add it back on your plate with everything else. Well, that's the other thing too, is like I wouldn't, you know, if we were able to do it in house, like I wouldn't be the one doing it, but like I liked doing it. Ross says, way back in the day, I interned for PPG. We used to paint for Ovation. Painting guitars is actually pretty fun. It can be, yeah, especially, you know, like if you've got your system down, yeah, and you can control the environment and all that stuff. But like, if you have a system, that's why, you know, if you have to have someone that does your paint work for you, if you can find someone that used to work for a major manufacturer and like has a system, it's the way to go. It's available. You know, it's not cheap, but like if someone were to order that guitar spec the same way, cost is pretty close. So it's not like, you know, it's not like this is 10 grand, you know, just because it's the first. I mean, that guitar is awesome. It's one of the best guitars I've made. Or at least, you know what? It's one of the guitars that I like the most that from the ones that I've made. And you know, that was the body, like Concord bodies were always done on the machine. The back shape of that neck, I'm pretty sure, was done by hand. I'll have to go back and look at the pictures I have of it, because it's possible that it may have been machined. I don't remember, but that's why I've got a bunch of pictures. Anyway, yeah, that thing is that's a really good guitar. I'm really proud of that one. Yeah. Best of luck in your move. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. It's never a pleasant thing, but you know, we'll do the best that we can, which is, you know, all we can really do. Assad checks in. Where do we? How do I? Wait, come on. Why won't we? There we go. Price and performance are hard to beat, and built to order on top of that. Yeah. and so you don't have to wait for me to figure out what the next run is going to be, which is like another thing that I need to figure out, because we're still going to do like conspiracy series runs. And yes, the conspiracy series runs will always be at a lower price point than having one made to order. But a lot of that is really because it costs me a whole lot more to have something made to order. So yeah. I think it's cool. And some of the things that we've got in the channel, because we pushed this out to the mailing list first, and some really neat stuff has been specced out. And we've got some 7-string stuff. We've got some baritone stuff. We've got left-handed stuff. There's flakes. There's all kinds of stuff. And that the response leading up to the launch has been really, really, really great, and I'm happy about that. I hope that can continue, because that would be good. That would be very helpful. So what else? I think that's kind of it. I know I have plenty of time. Like there's a clock on this as I'm doing this, and there's a tick down, and it will tell me, this is how much time you've got left, and we've got plenty. So like if we've got any questions, I'm happy to answer. It could be about anything. I don't care. Happy to talk about build related stuff. Classes are another thing. Like we're still going to do them. The funny thing is, when people will reach out about classes and then I email them back, and like then I don't hear back, or like we have problems with my emails going to people's spam folders, even though it's going through like Gmail, like Google like manages all of our email stuff, but yeah, it's challenging. Constant. Steve, attention to detail. Oh, thank you. Thanks, buddy. And Steve, your Astro is, last I knew, had sealer coats on it, and we should be black sugared very shortly. So I'm looking forward to getting. So Steve ordered the first carved top Astro, and while that was going on, we had another pal order one of the prototype carved top Astro bodies that needed some tweaking, so those are going to move. I really like the carved top Astro, and it's been, I've made 2 Astros, and they both look the same, and they're the flat top version, and I like the flat top version, but when we made the carved top, I'm like, oh yeah, that's dope. There's also like this other, I've talked about this before, but I drew up an Astro base that has a completely different vibe. It's got this real kind of sludgy look to it, because I think partially because it's got a pick guard on it, and there's a part of me that wants to like make that available as a guitar, but it's one of these things where it's like I can't just make stuff that people don't ask for. You know what I mean? So because I do make some. We do make some spec guitars from time to time, and we've got there's a Stardust right now that we've got to pick up from getting plecked. That'll be available very shortly. It's seafoam green and has a black pickguard and black hardware, and it's got a Schaller Hannes bridge, and it's got a flame maple neck and an ebony fretboard and hollow blocks. So it was like the neck for kind of like a Stardust Deluxe on like a standard Stardust body. It looks really dope. So hopefully somebody will want that. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be good. One thing with the classes is like, it's not school. And that's not to say that you won't learn things and you won't get experience with stuff, but for the short amount of time that we have, it's not like a curriculum-based thing. It's like, okay, you're at the end of the week, you're going to leave with this guitar, this specific one, which is different from the person in class or the other person in class with you. So everybody's making like their own thing. So like certain things have to be done at certain times. And then, you know, sometimes we have to manage, you know, I've only got one fret press. Technically I have two, but I've never hooked up the other one. But you know, or sometimes there's some hand routing that needs to be done. And that's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to have two routers going at the same time because, you know, we need to make sure that people leave with all 10. But, you know, it's kind of like, it's like a, you know, rock and roll fantasy camp. But you leave with a guitar and, you know, you don't get to talk to Paul Stanley, unfortunately. Chris, good morning to you. How you doing? I am excited to see your Astro as well. Yours and Steve's are both in paint booths, and we should be seeing some stuff real soon. Mark, working at a farmer's market. Here, oh, you know what? Here's something cool for Mark. I mean, this may not be quite as, it's definitely not as complete as Joey's, but so Mark, this is your neck shaft. And some of you are like, that is a real big headstock. So we've got spoke wheel truss rod here. We've got carbon fiber rod channels here. We've got our locator holes here. This will help the fretboard when this gets glued on. This is, it's roasted flame maple. You might be able to see some of the flame in this. You can see it moving around a little bit there. But this is all unsanded and, you know, but you can see some figure on the side. Maybe, there you go. You see the little. So this is a 12-string neck. Mark reached out and wanted to have a 12-string Stardust made. And normally I would not be down for that, not because I have anything against 12 strings, but it's like super unknown. And you know, my joke about 12 strings is like I would never own one because I'd have to tune it, and like I'm out. But we're doing it, and you know, I'm excited about that, and so we'll see this come along in the near future. So there we go. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Roasted flame maple fucking rules. I like that enthusiasm. It is pretty nice. Great question. Probably. I don't know. You know, and some of this stuff, all of this is very unknown. You know, the numbers have changed of what percentages are and that sort of thing. And it doesn't seem like anything is finalized right now. So I'm just taking a wait and see approach. And all I can do is my best with it. So that's what I'm gonna do. And, you know, it's easy from what I've seen over the last few months, you know, there's a lot of people that are just, I think everybody's just trying to do their best. Or maybe not, but that's where I'm trying to operate from. And, you know, some people are like, oh, this is what the impact is going to be. And it's going to be like this. And, you know, there are companies who are much more successful than I and do business with overseas factories on a much larger basis. When I say that, I mean, like, you know, for an example, like pedal companies and stuff like that, because a lot of the components come from overseas just because they do. And you know, I look to those guys who, you know, they've got shipments coming in regularly, and you know, so they're seeing the impacts of that immediately. I don't have any shipments coming right now. Things are in production, and things will be here, you know, near the end of the summer and as we get into the fall months. So I don't know what it's going to look like, and I'm going to do my best to not have things be. You know, I'm just going to do my best, but I don't know. I don't know what things are going to look like, unfortunately. But you know, kind of in general, I don't really know what things are going to look like. Annie, good morning to you. You are a ray of sunshine. How are you? Kevin, hi Sally. How do you decide what options are available on which models for the Conspiracy Series Custom? Is it construction methods? This is a great question, Kevin. Well, how do I kind of, what options are available on which models? Yeah, construction methods kind of factor in. I think I probably need some more concrete examples. I'm sorry, but I'll. So if you can give me a follow up, like say like this one gets this, but like this one only doesn't get this. I can say like, so a 71, like a Raven headstock is not available on a 71, just because I think it doesn't look right. Like a single humbucker guitar, that we can't do that on a set neck. That would have to be done as a bolt-on or a neck through, and there are a whole, like if something gets done as a neck through, that's a whole other list of things that have to be considered, like especially like on a Concorde, you know, how do we, because I've made a few neck through Concords recently, and it has to change. You have to change how you make it because of the radius top of those bodies. I'm always going to do this. Same thing for a Revolution. Same thing like for a 625. It's, you know, like a Super Strat style body that has a radius top instead of a forearm contour. And from the height. Complete my thought. You can't put a blade switch on a 625. It's got to be a toggle switch only, because the height of a blade switch is such that where the control cavities are located on a 625, it's in this area where the body height is tapering. And if you put a blade switch in, even if you recess it into the face, and there's only so far you can go, the blade switch is too tall for it to be in the cavity. You won't be able to get a cover on, and you know that's a bad vibe. So there is an example. The finish options. The finish options are a mix of what we already do with some other options at the factory that they're willing to do, like crackle. I never offer them in the customs. Number one, because I really don't like crackle like at all. But number two, the painters that I work with don't seem to offer it, which is perfectly cool with me because I don't want to do it. However, if somebody wants to order a Conspiracy Series custom, and if they want it crackle, I don't care. Totally cool. I want you to have, you know, that's not a hill I'm going to die on. Yeah. Hey, Sean, good morning to you. I don't know if you've seen this whole thing, but we were doing some live tests with the sludge, and even though this has sealer on it, it was pulling color. So we're gonna, I mean, it's all off, so we're all good. We're gonna reevaluate, but we're gonna get that moving along. But I did find, so we've got some. This is Createx. It's airbrush paint. It's water based. you can use this stuff to color your fillers. So for like contrasting, like if you want to do like black with like a red filler, you can use these sorts of things. You can also use dye or stain, but like there isn't really a fluorescent green stain. So yeah. Yeah, man. Well said. I want a Raven headstock on everything. Well, okay, so I did kind of talk about that. I don't really want it on a 71. But I will tell you, and I'll probably regret this, when I was making the one humbucker 71 that went to NAMM, when I was just kind of farting around and, I had some test necks or something like that, I just for laughsies, I put a Raven, I had the body cut out and I just kind of put, like a neck with a Raven, head on it. And I'm like, that's not quite as repulsive as I thought it was going to be. And I did bounce it off a couple people and they're like, yeah, that's not terrible. But so I'll tell you this, like, so Kevin, are you specifically speaking about a 71? Because like, at this point, if that's, if we'll see, like, I'm willing to consider it. It is the international symbol of a radius top. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Okay. A 625. Like, if you want it, sure. That's fine. We've gone the other way with like 624 bodies that get 625 necks. So yeah, I don't care. I really don't think it'll work on an Astro, but it is one of those things where it's like, I can maybe be flexible. I don't make bodies or just necks. I'm sorry. I would say that there are so many places online that make bodies, so you shouldn't have a problem getting a telly. Missed the first half. We'll go. Oh, don't worry about it. I was basically testing this out, realizing quickly that it wasn't going to work out the way that I wanted, and removed what I had started. So, and it's also been a lot of me being real concerned. Okay, here we go. Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever. To quote another role played by Madeline Kahn, I hate them so much because, like, I understand that people like them, and I understand, like, on something like a Gretsch, it may not, kind of, we're used to seeing that. To me, they really just look like medical instruments from like the 1800s. They look like old-timey leg braces, and there's nothing elegant to me about them. There's nothing refined about them. I think they're just fucking hideous, and like, I would rather that be a deal breaker for someone than to put one on one of my guitars. And I know it's real easy for me to say that. It isn't, because, like, I'm aware of what's going on. But like, if I was making like another brand where that sort of thing was, that's one thing, but I'm not. So like, fuck those things. Fuck those things hard and far. I hate them so much. People bitch about Floyds. Restring one of those things. Jesus Christ. But it's like, it's also one of those things where it's like, you like what you like, and that's fine. nice people like you like some of what I do, and I really appreciate that. And you may like, things with Bigsby's, and that's okay too. But like, don't ask me to put one on one of my guitars. And one of my longtime clients, Rob, gave me shit because in the custom conspiracy form, there's an option for a Jazzmaster style bridge, because in the back of my head with the Stardust, from time to time, I've thought, like, I don't know, maybe someday we'll make one with like Jazzmaster pickups and stuff, because like the whole point of the Stardust really was to reach out to people that like Jazzmasters. So yeah. Reverse headstocks and Kahlers are things that you don't like or things that you do like? I mean, I like reverse headstocks. We do that on most everything. I don't like Kahlers though. See you later. To me, like, I know that Kahlers work. And I know that for a period of time, that was like really the only bridge available due to the exclusivity agreement between Kramer and Floyd Rose. So like if you wanted a custom Jackson with a Floyd, you often had to provide the bridge. What kind of options will be on the well, there are, you can already see that right now. If you go to the website and there's a Conspiracy Series custom page in the Conspiracy Series navigation. And if you click on, like basically you're buying a deposit. And when you do that, like this whole form is going to populate with all of the options, and it's going to give you an idea. It's going to tell me what specs you want, and then it's going to give you an idea of the final cost. You have a Bigsby on a really badass 335 and it looks cool, but it's entirely fucking useless and it causes tuning issues. See, now this is why this is an example. Like, I need to be more like you is really what I'm hearing, because I say no to a lot of stuff just because, I have my idea of what these things look like and what they can have. And the other thing with Kahlers is like, visually speaking, I don't like them. I know that they're super smooth, and to me, it feels like using a trem. Using it as a trem, to me, it feels like a limp handshake. And I know that you can add the different springs to make it stiffer. I just don't like it, and it's also one of those things that, like, when I started making my own stuff. Nobody ever really asked for it. So it's like, I don't have to deal with figuring out router templates for it and, all that stuff. Leg braces are what they actually use for status of the Rhoads. I'll show you. Here we go. Here's the status of the Rhoads. I know it looks real bummed out right now. This had a Kahler on it, speaking of which. We got their string through holes. We've got the veneer on the back. Now, and I spent a lot of time like fixing these bevels and getting them straightened out. I am as sure as I can be right now that I just need to clean up the bevels on the back in this inside area. And then, yeah, because I know I did the sides. And it's like, I would kind of measure things and make sure that, because what I want to have happen is these things need to come to the same kind of termination point here. And, because like you'll have the edge of the bevel here, and then maybe like an edge of a bevel will be like back here and be really low. I gotta even those out. So I spent a lot of time on that. This has been plecked. So like I know that that's going to work out. I have a little bit of sanding just to clean up around the binding. And yeah, so it's really just get these bevels cleaned up, just final sand, and I can see maybe along this ledge I need to clean up, and then just like clean up roundovers and stuff, and then this can be sent to paint. Yeah. Sadly, not sadly, but like, I hope I don't have to make this available. But you know, you never know. So anyway, that's the status on the Rhoads. It's definitely come a hell of a long way. And that's cool. No question, just hey. Hey, Michael. Thanks for checking in. Do the custom conspiracy series of guitars have the same nut width, or is there a choice? Yeah, they do. They're all like 170. That said, I mean, because like the thing is with the customs, like I still have to send the CAD drawings. So you know, if somebody needs like a 1 5/8, like I've got drawings for some of that stuff already, but you know, there is. So the good news is there's a section in the notes. There's a section on the forum where you can submit questions and stuff like that. I like the Kayla fixed bridge with fine tuners. Something mistake. Yep, sure. Appreciate it. It actually gives me one, but I appreciate you giving me one too. Looks so much better than the last time I saw it. Yeah. So this, for those that don't know, this had to have been like flood damage. The neck was twisted. So this is this fretboard. We replaced it. It is a legit Jackson fretboard. The seams, like the body seams, they're delaminated, but they wouldn't clamp back. So that's why, you know, I've stabilized it, and that's why we've got a veneer on the face and a veneer on the face here. This had a caler. I routed this out. There's a plug that you can kind of see the seam there, and it terminates on this side here. You can see that. So I've got the brass plates, like new old stock Jackson brass plates. Yeah, and like this is a super old school logo with the O and the N are a little too close together. So I'm gonna lose this when it gets painted, unfortunately, because some of it is already kind of gone. But the great thing is that I have a water slide decal of this logo that's been sitting in an envelope for at least like 20 years, because about that time ago, I was doing some restoration work on some Jacksons for some people, and I just happened to find it, and I'm like, holy crap. So so that's cool. Stats bar is more, yeah, I mean, it looks better, but it's like, it's still, it doesn't fit what I want to do. So yeah. This is going to be white, black head, and you know, brass plates. So it will look very much. This will look very much like the what was called the Lost Rhoads, or JCF-01. For those the three of you that are watching that may know that reference. But the difference between this and JCF-01 is that this neck is much slimmer, and actually the nut width on this is different from spec. This is a 1 5/8 nut, where it's normally like 1 11/16, and at the end it's 2 3/16 instead of 2 1/4. I remember telling that to Grover, and he's like, "Oh, we didn't do that very long." And then this neck is not 3 pieces, nor does it have a scarf joint. This is 1 piece of maple, which is maybe why it twisted. But anyway, that's that. And yes, Mr. Henry, I agree. It should look badass. You must have already had your coffee for the day. Yeah. So I'm going to have some more of this, and we'll talk to you another time. Thanks for watching.